Emperor Constantine had zero role in the transmission of the Greek text, except to ask Eusebius to make 50 Bibles. But he didn't tell him what was going to go in those Bibles. In fact, Constantine has been accused of doing all sorts of things to corrupt Christianity. In Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, Sir Lee Teabing is talking to Sophie at his home in France, and he says, until that moment, and he meant the Council of Nicaea in AD 325, Jesus was viewed as a man, a mortal, just a human, not deity. And he essentially argues that Constantine invented the deity of Christ. Now, Dan Brown gets that from this book this novel authored by 3 British novelists, and he really believed that, Constantine must have invented the deity of Christ. In that novel, the British folks they said there are no New Testament manuscripts prior to the Council of Nicaea. None. Which simply means that they did not do any homework. They're just making things up out of thin air. But they believe it. I mean, it's a historical novel. They try to promote this kind of stuff just like Dan Brown thinks his is a historical novel. We have as many as 65 manuscripts, just in Greek alone, prior to the Council of Nicaea. We have a lot of church fathers who comment on Scripture, and they have full commentaries on various books. We have versions. We have just tons of material prior to the 4th century. And here's what I would say is, William Lane, on his desk when he was teaching at Seattle Pacific University, had just a little motto that he lived by. An ounce of evidence is worth a pound of presumption. And let me give you an ounce of evidence that goes against this presumption that is a really popular myth that Constantine changed the Greek New Testament so that now affirm the deity of Christ and other doctrines. Let me go back to P66, AD 200 approximately, maybe a little bit earlier. At John 1:1, it says what every single manuscript, no matter what language, says. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This is written about 125 years before the Council of Nicaea. Now, unless Constantine was maybe 150 years old when that council convened, I rather doubt that he invented the deity of Christ.